Hello, I decided to make a video today about off-air, over-the-air, high-definition television signals. You know, a lot of people ask me about this, and the first question I often get is it legal? Is it okay? Is it legal to take television signals off the air with an antenna into your television set? And the answer to that question is it is 100% perfectly legal to do so. It's no different than turning on the radio in your car or in your kitchen or your basement or your garage, etc. There are television signals that are off the air that you can access for free. You need a few things. You need an antenna, you need a television set, and a few other goodies. But other than that, they are free television signals. It's important to remember that you will not get all of the specialty channels that you have maybe become accustomed to, like the home and gardening type shows and the specialty news channels. What you will get is the over-the-air terrestrial broadcasters. So the big, well-known broadcasters, like in the USA, for example, ABC, CBS, Fox, NBC, PBS. In Canada, you should be able to get the CBC, Global Television, City TV in certain areas, and CTV in most areas. So those are the big ones you should be able to get. I almost forgot CHCH in Hamilton. In other cities across Canada, you'll also be able to get some of the other smaller independent stations as well, which I haven't mentioned here. I'm in Toronto, so I'm mentioning the Toronto ones. And then there's a few other little sort of off-the-wall broadcasters that are out there as well, but you want the main ones. And in those broadcasters, you'll find all of your sort of favorite first run, as they're known, TV shows, a lot of the live sport events that you might like to see, and certainly local and national newscasts. And the broadcasters are mandated by the government to provide that programming to you, and you can find that and see that all for free. And so there's a couple things to remember in how all this works. First of all, you do need an HDTV. You need to run that cable better outside if you can, up to an antenna on your roof or on a tower outside your house. Just like in the old days, the 1950s, you still need to get the antenna up in the air and up above and to get the signals. If you're in a condominium, an apartment, you have the advantage of already being way up in the air over top of a homeowner like myself. But you have to be facing the broadcast towers, the transmission towers. If you look at some of the older apartment buildings, you'll see a lot of old antennas on top of the roofs, because back in the 50s and 60s and 70s, before cable as it were, you had to have an antenna to get television signals. So look and see, if you are facing the towers, you should be able to get television reception. Now, there are a couple of very important websites that you can look at, and the first one I'm going to mention is tvfool.com. And if you go to that website, what you can do is you can enter in your address, and it will do a sort of local radius search for you, and it will show you where the transmitters are in your proximity. So if you have an antenna, or you get an antenna, and you sort of put it near a window or point it to where the transmitters roughly would be coming from, you should be able to do a channel scan on your TV. So you want to go into your TV's menu, select antenna, not cable, antenna. You want to select antenna, and then plug that into the coaxial, that's the old cable, jack in the back of your TV, and then do the channel scan as I mentioned, and it will show you what channels you can get. The better antenna that you get, the more channels you will get. The higher you can get the antenna in the air, the better. There are a great number of antennas that you can get, and I'm going to mention 3 of the major sort of North American ones. Antennas Direct has a great number of antennas for the sort of consumer market, and if you go to their website, you can get their technical support people to assist you in what antenna would probably be best for you. Channel Master also makes very good antennas. Same thing, go to their website, check with their customer service people as to where your address is, what market you're in, and what antenna would be best for you. Winegard also makes well-known antennas. They've been around for a long time. They also make those big Yagi antennas, those big, huge sort of triangular antennas you see on some of the older homes. So try them and see where that takes you. Get the antenna up, try and get some signals. And if you want to not pay for cable or satellite, and you have your streaming services that you're happy with, but you do want some television signals for some of your favorite programs and some of the big television events that are still going on off the air, you can do that. Again, it's no different than turning on your radio. There are free over-the-air television signals that you could be using. The other thing it's important to remember is that these are uncompressed television signals. When you get television signals from your cable or satellite provider, they tend to squish them down, to compress them down a little bit so that they'll all kind of fit into the bandwidth as it's known. When you take HDTV signals off the air, they are uncompressed, so they are about as high quality as you can get. And you will notice if you do a sort of comparison how much better they look. So get yourself an antenna, hook it up to your HDTV, do a scan, and see how many channels you can get. You might have to move your antenna around a little bit, and if you put an antenna on your roof, you might have to find that sweet spot, so don't go drilling it in right away until you've found that sort of sweet spot. Weather plays into it as well, so try and do it on a kind of a clearer day, or do your channel searches on a more clear day, and that hopefully should work for you. All the best, and I hope it works out nicely.